We have a huge NHL trade to discuss. The Phil Kessel trade, after months of speculation, has finally and actually happened. He's on his way to Arizona. We'll get into all the details coming up next. Welcome back here to Top Shelf Hockey. We have some huge breaking news from the NHL. Phil Kessel has finally been traded after months and months and months of speculation. He's on his way to join the Arizona Coyotes and former assistant coach in Pittsburgh, Rick Tocchet. Now, of course, Rick Tocchet was known as the Kessel Whisperer, and many speculated that this would be a good landing spot for Phil Kessel if the Penguins really insisted on trading him. And even though we heard reports from GM Jim Rutherford recently indicating that he likely wasn't going to be trading him after all, many of us kind of thought that he would still do it if he found himself the right deal. Now, the full deal is as follows. Phil Kessel goes to the Arizona Coyotes along with a 2020 fourth-round selection. Heading off to Pittsburgh is forward Alex Galchenyuk and a pretty solid prospect defenseman, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who was the Coyotes' 2017 first-round selection, taken number 23 overall. He's got a solid future ahead of him. His older brother, Matthew Joseph, plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning, so it was pretty solid prospect defenseman there. So overall, I think this is a pretty good trade mostly for the Coyotes. I mean, they get themselves a pretty solid point producer, a big-time scorer in the NHL with lots of history here. I mean, Kessel has 3 years left at $6.8 million. So obviously he comes with a modified no-trade clause as well with an 8-team list that they can potentially deal him to. But he's over the next 3 years, I think more than likely, hopefully things work out between him and Tocchet like they did in the past, and he finishes out his contract where he'll be a UFA in 3 years' time. But obviously the Coyotes have been really looking to bolster their offense, and he will certainly be able to help with that. He's got a long history here of being a terrific goal scorer and point producer here in the NHL for some time now. Many people question why the Penguins want to trade him. He's done nothing but put up a good amount of points. He's been a point-per-game player, a terrific playoff performer. But really, based on all the different reports I've read and seen around the NHL from different sources, it really sounds like it was much as more of an off-ice issue as it was anything else. Rutherford certainly wanted to shake things up because the team's been a little stagnant and hasn't had the success it did back a few years ago when they were winning Stanley Cups. But it seems as though Phil Kessel's got a reputation for being a difficult player to coach. There's been some different situations that have come up off the ice, and it seems as though that was kind of what fueled most of the reasoning here behind making this trade. Now, of course, they get a forward in Alex Galchenyuk, who's kind of underperformed here. Certainly had some success in Montreal, but certainly found himself traded over to the Coyotes for Max Domi last summer. And last year in Arizona wasn't terrible, but he certainly got off to a poor start because of injuries. But overall, I thought his play was better down the stretch into the second half. And really, I think the Pittsburgh Penguins will be a good spot for Galchenyuk. He's been a player that they've had their eye on for some time now. And over the last couple of years, with all the trade talk around him, when he was a Montreal Canadian, there was rumors that the Penguins were really had their eye on him then. And of course, they also get themselves a pretty solid prospect defenseman in Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who's really has a promising career ahead of him. Here, in my opinion, and the Penguins could certainly use having a solid blue chip prospect like him on the back end. So obviously, overall, the Penguins get a bit of a break here in the salary cap. They have more salary coming out than in. There's no salary retained on either side here. Now, Alex Galchenyuk is in the final year of his contract, so he's eligible to be extended. The Penguins probably want to see how things go for a while before they do that, would be my guess here. So obviously, they get a little bit more cap flexibility. Obviously, Galchenyuk's going to have some big shoes to fill here. Obviously, Kessel put up a ton of points, and the pressure is really going to be on him, I think, really to perform and make sure that this trade was worthwhile here for Pittsburgh, and we'll see how Kessel can do in Arizona. Can he help them take them over the hump here? They came close to making the playoffs last year. Is he going to be the piece that's needed to make them that much better and hopefully get them in? I do think they need more than just Kessel here, but I guess I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. What do you think of this trade? Who wins the trade? I mean, I think it's fair to say here that Phil Kessel is the best player in this deal, so I think we can probably say that Arizona wins, but obviously there's other salary cap implications here as well, and obviously Pittsburgh was due for a shakeup. So, of course, let me know your thoughts, and we'll continue the conversation in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, stay tuned to Top Shelf Hockey for all the breaking news on all 31 NHL teams. There'll be plenty of content coming here over the next few days, as there should be plenty more trade activity, lots of signings on Free Agent Frenzy here. So stay tuned. I'll keep you all up to date with all the latest breaking news. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.